Welcome to the E-commerce Badassery podcast, the place for scrappy entrepreneurs who want to learn actionable steps and strategies to grow the traffic, sales, and profit in your e-commerce business. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster, a 20-year retail veteran and former brick-and-mortar boutique owner who spent 3 years as the only employee of a 7-figure online store. That shit was crazy. I know exactly how it feels to do all the things, and I'm sharing everything I learned the hard way so you don't have to. I may have started this business by accident, but supporting badass bosses like you lights me the fuck up, and I am so stoked to see you grow. Are you ready, babe? Let's roll. Welcome back to the E-commerce Badassery podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster. This month has been a whirlwind, with business owners trying to get clarity on their focus for the year while navigating everything that's going on in the world. I've been having so many conversations with lounge members about their business planning, and there's one topic in particular that kept coming up across multiple different businesses, sometimes from different angles, but it was all about average order value and free shipping thresholds. I love talking about average order value, and it's something I talk about a lot because it's one of the main levers you have when growing your e-commerce business. We know it's a lot easier to sell more to someone who is already shopping versus trying to get new customers or even bringing back an existing customer to place another order. While this can be a highly nuanced topic depending on your unique business and the products you sell, there are some general rules you can follow to optimize your AOV. In one of these conversations, a student asked, "What's a realistic AOV target?" Now, in the lounge, when I walk people through the process of planning your year, one of the things that I impress upon people is the importance of setting KPI targets so you know what you're going after. And when it comes to something like gross margin, it's safe to say that most stores aren't necessarily going to hit anything higher than a 60% gross margin, but AOV doesn't have the same ceiling. So it's not really about what's a realistic AOV target or what's achievable in a general sense, but how your product assortment and prices influence what's possible in your business. For example, when we're talking about using cross-sells and upsells to increase your average order value, something I talk more about on episode 275, you have to be realistic about what you're asking of the customer. In my experience, I have found that cross-sells work best when they're no more than 30 to 40% of the original product price the customer was buying. For example, if they're buying a $100 pair of jeans, it's a lot easier to get them to buy a $30 to $40 shirt versus another $100 pair of jeans. Now, this too will vary widely with different product assortments, lower priced overall products, etc., but it's a good general rule to give you some perspective. If I'm trying to use a free shipping threshold to encourage additional spending, something you should definitely be doing, I like to look at the average price of products you sell and figure out what the number should be, considering I only want the customer to have to add one more item to the cart. So look at what lower priced add-on items you might have that you can leverage for this purpose. If you've got some items that are $5 to $10, well, then maybe that's how much you raise your threshold by. If all of your products are the same price, well, maybe you do need to ask them to double what they were planning to spend. If that's the case, you might want to look at implementing some bundles or X number of items for X price, kind of like the Victoria's Secret 5 for $30 panty deal, or, a 2 for a 3 for, something like that. This way, you're focusing on getting them the deal through the bundle versus asking them to buy another item for free shipping. The outcome is the same, but the psychology behind it is different. The most important thing is you don't want your free shipping threshold to be lower than your current average order value. In that case, you're just giving shipping away and you might be putting yourself in the hole. Again, this is going to be unique to the business based on what you sell and the price of shipping. It's possible your item is super small and lightweight, and this is not an issue. Maybe you're intentionally making sure almost everyone gets free shipping because it's something you've decided to lean on to differentiate yourself from everyone else. Regardless, though, you do want to make sure you have cushion in there so you can absorb any unexpected shipping increases. I was just on a call the other day with a student who learned USPS was raising their rates. She used to offer free shipping on all orders. She did that for a really long time and then just recently added a free shipping threshold. It's pretty low, though. She's trying to ease her customers into it, so that threshold was still under her current AOV. And with that increase in shipping, there's just no way around her having to either raise her prices, that shipping threshold, or possibly both. Ultimately, she's got some math to do. While it's unlikely you'll ever make money on shipping like you could in the good old days, the goal is to get as close to break even as possible. But even then, the truth is the law of diminishing returns will always kick in. At some point, your shipping costs or free shipping threshold will be so high that you actually lose business. Here's the trick, though. You can't make judgments based on revenue alone. Sure, maybe you have lower revenue, but because you're not giving as much away in shipping costs, you might walk away with more profit dollars, and that's more important. And not to get too off track, but a couple of years ago, I had a product-based business owner, Ellie, on the show. Her situation wasn't specifically related to shipping, but she talked about her business before and after COVID. She cut her business in half, but ended up taking home more profit and is a lot less stressed. You can listen to her story on episode 255 if you're interested. The point is, pay more attention to your profit dollars versus just your vanity revenue numbers. Ultimately, exactly how you implement your free shipping strategy is going to be unique to your business, and it might not be universal across your entire business. For example, I have a student who does local delivery. As she was planning for the year, she realized the math wasn't mathin' for her current structure. As a zero-waste company who collects empty bottles from her customers for reuse, having that local delivery does actually work out cheaper for the customer and more profitable for her because it's fewer return labels she needs to shell out for. While I won't take you down the entire rabbit hole we traveled, my main recommendation was if they didn't have refillable products in their cart, she shouldn't offer local delivery. That would be shipping only because really, it's not worth it. When we were figuring out the best way to implement that, spoiler alert, it's not Shopify shipping profiles because those stack together if someone buys products from more than one profile. It reminded me of an app I found not that long ago called Smart Checkout Rules. I feel like I've talked about this app on the podcast before. Maybe it was somewhere else. I don't know. I think it was more in terms of being able to rearrange shipping methods at checkout. That's available on the free version, but the paid version actually allows you to hide shipping methods based on certain conditions like specific products or collections being in the cart. So if you're in a similar situation where you want a little extra control over the shipping methods you offer based on what people are buying, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it. So what is the most important takeaway from today's episode? Your free shipping threshold should be higher than your current AOV. And yes, that means when you hit the new AOV target, you raise it again. And that you want to be mindful and strategic about how to market products together when implementing cross-sells, upsells, and bundles. If you haven't already reviewed these numbers for last year and made adjustments for the new year, let this be your sign to do that. Make sure you check the show notes for links to all the other episodes and resources I mentioned today, specifically the episode about increasing your average order value with cross-sells and upsells. That's where I go deeper into the best ways to pair products and implement that on your site. All right, friend, keeping this one short and sweet today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you on the flip side, friend. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to learn more about growing your e-commerce business, get started with my free resource library at ecommercebadassery.com/free stuff and get an invite to the Lounge, my e-commerce marketing membership. When you're ready for one-on-one support, apply to work with me at ecommercebadassery.com/apply. Before you go, would you do me a quick favor? Leave a rating and review and tap that follow button. This pushes me up the chart so I can support more scrappy e-commerce entrepreneurs just like you. I'm on a mission to reach as many as I can, and I could really use your help. Thanks so much in advance. Until next time, e-commerce friend, stay badass.